Good afternoon, Dragon Warrior Randomizer fans. This is Wanderdown, and here is the next race in the Garanham group. From going up, we start with EMP, any amount of money at 1 and 2, going up against Xarnax, currently at 1 and 1. So this is a very decisive race for both of these runners. Let's see what we've got. We're starting off with 11 strength, 16 agility, and stop spell. We don't know what else is in the throne room yet, and we're going to find out pretty soon because we're almost at the countdown for the racers. All right, let's see what else we've got. And, well, I'm doing comms, but we've got Velu V on both tracking and restreaming, so give them all a good round of applause. And for anyone new, what we're going to be doing is going through Dragon Warrior Randomizer, where our hero is going to be leveling up, trying to get spells and stats, and find the 3 homework items of the Silver Harp, the Stones of Sunlight, and the Erdrick's Token. But here we are starting with EMP with a Link Sprite, and Xarnax going with Tav, and let's see what's in the throne room. Stones. Cursed belt and the key in the back. Okay, there's a town right outside Tantagel and a cave, and it's coal. Let's see what EMP finds while Xarnax is getting those 2 XP from that red slime and deciding to take the level first before he gets in there. And the death necklace, which will allow for a very small gold grind for those who want to get some power early on. You know, a little time taken for a 1,500 gold piece broadsword and 90 gold piece small shield can't hurt. With the 11 strength start, that's going to make a lot of the Zone 0 enemies pretty much a moot point. And there's that cave we were talking about. Let's see what we find. And it is mountain. Wolves with hurts. Stop spell will help, but when they start attacking, then it gets annoying. Yeah, EMP being sent home by the wolf just keeps fighting. Xarnax actually stop spells the droll with heal, but they're also attacking and probably gonna send him back home as well. And there's another cave on the other side of that swamp. A Drakima, let's see what EMP decides to do. Could possibly 2 or 3 shot this, bringing him up to 20 XP, and that is level 3. Total of 4 powers, 6, 5, and 8. No more spells. But Xarnax is probably going to do better. Oh, Nope, that magician has weak breath. Wombo combo on the skeleton, sleep and Dragonlord 2 breath. But while Xarnax gets level 2, which would have been 5, 3, 4. And on the other side, it's Grave. And Xarnax catching up to level 3 using the hills right underneath the mountain on that one. Want to get up to 35 XP for level 4. In the grave, we find Magic Key, an herb, and another herb. And there was a warlock that ambushed Xarnax at low hit points, sending him home. EMP going right back out, probably either grinding or going... Oh, yeah, they're going to be going to try to find as much gold as possible to keep that key. Next level for EMP, 5 strength, 8 agility, 1 hit point, 4 magic points, and heal more, so at least there's a healing spell. And same with Xarnax going over to level 4. Both players are running a strength agility build. Xarnax taking another trip to Mountain while EMP goes back to Tantagel. Oof, Star Wyverns. Nope. Xarnax takes down that wolf for 40 XP, bringing him up to level 5, while EMP goes after the treasury. That was 5, 4, 1, and I didn't see what was after that. There's a torch, cursed belt, and the big stick. Thank you, Hoodie, for in the treasury. So Erdrick's sword readily available with heal more, although 20 MP isn't the best, but you're only level 4 or 5, so... And swamp in the basement. And EMP is going to get that level 4. Let's see what we find. Again, 5, 0, 4, 1, and heal. Oh, that's good. Especially with the low MP we currently have. However, we don't go out into the back of Garenham on the other side of Swamp, but we seems to be towards the top of the map for those interested in the reverse count. But the Wraith will send him home immediately. Xarnax deciding to instead focus on the grind, getting close to 165, which is the next level 6. He's 1 away. Let's see what level 6 has for Xarnax, which is 8 power, 0 agility, 3 HP, 4 MP, and... And Demon Knight sends EMP back home while Xarnax is continuing the grind. He's got to get up to 337 for level 7. Okay, EMP going for the grind, probably going to try to at least get level 6 before he either attempts Swamp again or goes over to Mountain this time. Xarnax not knowing about the Wombo combo on the skeletons and just saw Grave on the other side of that swamp. And outside at level 6, which will be great for both Grave and Mountain, as Xarnax discovers the Wombo combo and is sent back home. And if Xarnax is up against this wolf, which isn't too bad, but if he gets to that upper part of Grave, he's going to end up with that key as the Wombo sends EMP back to start. Ooh, Stone Man in top of Grave and no sleep. Yeah, that's going to be another send back, and now EMP is going after Mountain. And that Star Wyvern pulling no punches, run blocking him, but he manages to get away and use a heal more to get his HP back up. Taking a chance on the Spectre on EMP's side, while there's another Wolf, which would bring Xarnax to level 7. Wolves have hurt. Fun to know. And at level 7 for Xarnax, we've got 10, 7, 2. Nothing else. But that first gold in top of Grave. I mean, top of Mountain. Xarnax finds his key, he'll be getting that sword soon enough. Fairy water in the second chest in Mountain. Another key. A dragon scale. Well, that saves that 20 gold for later on. Xarnax taking the Death Warp back to the castle by fighting this Demon Knight. And EMP is going to use that time to probably do a little bit of, get to the last chest and do a little bit of a walking grind to get to level 7. Level 7 for EMP, while Xarnax will discover that Gwaelin got lost in her own basement again. And a torch in the last chest in Mountain, so it's not required, but you know, you could always, that gold is always good to have. And a blue dragon, which is probably going to end up sending Xarnax back home. Level 8 will be 600 XP for both of our runners. Xarnax going after the gold man for an easy 650 gold if he succeeds. Goldmen and golems all the way down on this swamp run that Xarnax is doing, while EMP takes down one-shots a warlock. Okay, now Xarnax is going to go to the treasury and going to end up getting his big stick. As EMP closes in on 600 XP. Wolf dodge and goes right for the attack on Xarnax. Nope, just close. But yeah, he's going to get the 48 XP on this. And 11 points away for EMP to level 8. Level 8 is 3 power, 1 speed, 3 hit points, 2 magic points, and hurt. Not quite as useful as you normally would see it due to you already having the sword, but might prove useful later on. Star Wyverns have sleep and the weak breath, but honestly, at this point, their Star Wyverns' fight attacks are probably going to end up doing more damage. EMP deciding to go to level 9 at 975 XP by staying in this zone with these specters and wraiths. Unlucky dodge is going to end up sending EMP home, while Xarnax goes through the swamp, is going to go past the grave, and probably do a little bit of exploration to the north of where we are now. And finds a town. And it's Breckenary. Good for 6 gold refill, and just to see if there's anything here, there is a flame sword, which is unnecessary at this point, and still no large shield or silver for a gold grind. And instead, EMP is heading east instead of west, like Xarnax was doing before that skeleton breathed on him and sent him back. EMP going back to this grind zone with the Wraiths and Spectres again. EMP two-shotting that Wraith Knight for 72 experience. Little bit of a risk, but paid off for him. And another cave on Xarnax's side where he finds the freebie cave, usually the Stones of Sunlight cave. And what he finds is a magic key, so there's even free keys. And there's the Fun Police, also known as the Red Dragon, hitting Xarnax for 41 HP and sending him home. Right now, 41 is Xarnax's max MP, and EMP just hits level 9. Let's see what we got. At 3 power, 3 speed, 6 hit points, 6 MP, no other spells. EMP decided to maintain his position in this zone, hitting anything that he comes across, trying to get up to 1500 XP for level 10. While Xarnax closes in on level 8. Chat pointing out that EMP's widened the XP gap, and at this point, I don't blame him. But, Xarnax is going to get that level 8 with taking down this Warlock, so he's going to get his boosts at this point, and the hurt spell. Ooh, that dodge ain't gonna help. Yeah, both runners are in this same grinding zone, just with a about close to 600 XP lead on EMP's side. Sorry, they're both grinding here. I don't have much else to say at the moment. Like I said, they're going to be looking for the Silver Harp, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. Then finding the Shrine Cave to trade in the Silver Harp for the Staff of Rain. And then the Rainbow Drop Cave, affectionately known as the Jerk, to turn in all 3 items to get the Rainbow Drop, to access Sharlock, to dive it, to defeat the Dragon Lord, and win the match. And there are a lot of implications based on who wins this race. I don't have it all in my head. There's on the Discord, you can check out Aaron2U2's analysis, which is extremely thorough and will be able to explain pretty much everything that's been going on. I agree, Sayaka. I just don't know it all off the top of my head. The ones who do, they're very good at this. And we got 7 XP away from EMP for getting that level 10. We're going to see what happens. While Xarnax is probably going to take down the Spectre to get level 9, especially with that excellent move. All right, level 10. 2 power, 9 speed, 8 hit points, 2 MP, no other spells. EMP's deciding to branch out. He's going to run away from those golems while Xarnax is taking on these Death Knights, and depending on how much time is used, could possibly even up that XP total. And that Spectre sending Xarnax home, while EMP encounters another Rogue Scorpion, which is going to be a bit of a... Oh, okay. Rogue Scorpion has hurt more too, and EMP blocks it. Xarnax going back into Mountain. And that Star Wyvern's going to send him home again. EMP refilling in coal, then he's just going to go straight north. And there's a metal slime on EMP's side. Nope, was an metal slime, and we find another cave, and it's Tablet. And we have outside. Somewhere Destiny of a Dragon Warrior is breathing a sigh of relief. And is that the second or third cursed belt? Because I've seen more than one at least. Okay, so with the second, so at least either Hawksness or the coordinates are going to have some key item on it. And Xarnax gets that Star Wyvern down, and the key items are going to be your harp, your stones, your token, Erdrick's sword, Erdrick's armor, along with the death necklace, which we've already found in coal, and the fairy flutes. So one of those 7 items, and they could be literally anywhere in the scene, in any chest. That includes Sharlock. EMP doing a little more exploring, doing the walking grind, because he's going to need to get to 2175 for level 11, but this is probably going to quickly dead end, and he's going to end up having to turn around, and there we go. Xarnax getting his dragon scale. Xarnax taking on that Demon Knight, and with the sword, that's not a bad idea with those 90 XP, bringing him very, very close to level 10. And EMP about to find his free key as well, while the Demon Knight sends Xarnax back home now that he's cleared out Mountain. First Wolf, Lord of the Seed. Let's see what EMP does against it. Two-shot for 52. No shenanigans seen yet. While Xarnax decides to go back into Swamp, I'm not sure if he's grinding here or he's going to try to explore and see what's on the other side, because I don't think he's gotten there yet. But that Spectre will get him to level 10 if he succeeds. Xarnax getting away from that blue dragon is going to be a help, because that green dragon's about to send EMP back home. And Red Dragon doing what Red Dragon do and sending Xarnax back home to the start. Yeah, chat pointing out EMP going back to this grind zone with the Spectres and Wraiths, and personally I don't blame him. And Xarnax deciding to take this grind in Mountain, apparently, or is going to try to loot a couple chests to get something extra, maybe some extra gold or extra herb. I'm not quite sure yet. While EMP taking advantage of the zone to get to that 2175 he's going to need for level 11. And EMP taking a little bit of advantage because these desert tiles are going to have a higher encounter rate than dungeon tiles, and it's 2 power 0018 sleep radiant for level 11, and I didn't see anything. All right, and the grind continues as Xarnax goes to the same zone EMP's been at. Good way to grind up, and EMP finds Cantlin. Half plate for 1,000, that's great, but you're only going to be left with 18 gold. So no 100 gold for an empty room for you. Selling off a cursed belt, and we'll stock up on herbs while he does have heal and heal more and MP. Let's see how far he can get with trying to get those coordinates. "26 south, 81 west" for the coordinates. Ouch. And in the meantime, Xarnax is using that time to beat up on Wraiths and Spectres and closing that XP gap. Yes, Veilevi. And I could have sworn I saw 81 west. I'm pretty sure it is. Xarnax gonna hit his level 11 with that 20018 sleep and radiance. So level 12 for both runners is going to be at 3,000 experience points. And EMP deciding to try to hit that 3,000 going through this zone again. With this, at this point, with what you've got, can't really fault anyone for that. It's still a good strategy. Build up as much as you can before branching out because you've still got a lot to do. And as the grind continues. And going by Aaron's analysis earlier this morning with this match, EMP is semi-eliminated with a loss. A win by EMP will eliminate Mand. A win by Xarnax technically qualifies DK9146 if he doesn't win his match earlier in the day, but unfortunately well, not unfortunately, but just spoilers, he did. No immediate situation change for Xarnax either way. That's right now, we don't know what else is going to happen. That is correct. EMP did grab the half plate out of Cantlin. And right now, these two runners are near neck and neck going into the same grind, both heading for that level 12. EMP with a slight XP lead. It's not as big as the one he had earlier. But, and depending on what enemies drop and the efficiency of the grind, that gap could easily close sooner than we think. Oh, Druins have DL2 breath. That's news and good to know. And that Wraith Knight is going to bring EMP a Whisper away from level 12. And this Druid... Oh, nope. At least the Druid didn't breathe on him. But the Spectre is going to give Xarnax some extra XP. And the Poltergeist is actually going to give EMP the level. So we're at level 12. Let's see what we find. It is 15 power, 8 speed, 22 hit points, 2 MP, and return. That's a nice level. Okay, that strength is going to be a serious boost, and let's face it, the agility, even 8 points, is no slouch either at this point. EMP going to refill his MP and HP, and probably, like chat's saying, go out and explore and try to find something. But, Xarnax might do the same. He's very, very close once this Wraith Knight goes down to getting the same things. With the exception of EMP having the half plate and small shield, the runners are pretty much even at this point. But, EMP is going to go after, grab some keys, probably go into Swamp and go out the other side to see what he can find on the other end. Beggars the question, will he go after the princess? Or at least check the spike tile. Well, he's going to check the spike tile in any case. While Xarnax finds another cave to the east of where he is while taking care of this rogue scorpion. Oh, that was Tablet Cave. Yeah, it looks like EMP is just going to rescue Gwaelin. Xarnax finds that second cursed belt in Tablet and continues east. And there's a wolf at the door where Gwaylin is, and he's going to pick up the princess, while the werewolf... Yeah. Yeah, that half plate and small shield are giving EMP a 21 defense difference, and you can see that with these Star Wyverns are easily doing 25 plus per attack. It's making it a little harried. While Xarnax does get the defeat, Xarnax finding the East Coast. Let's see if anything's south of where we are now. While EMP decides to go west. Xarnax finding that same grind zone in this part, and he's going to stay there for a little bit, taking the XP lead while EMP pushes out further west, encountering another werewolf. That dodges, and yeah, he's taking a lot less damage than Xarnax did from the same werewolf. Both runners want to get up to 4125 for level 13. It hasn't been that bad, Silverbane. They did find the sword in the treasury after finding a key in the top of Grave that was one screen away from Tantagel. But that Wraith Knight is going to send Xarnax back home again. But still, 36 XP separates our runners as of this moment. Now, is Xarnax going to go to other side of Swamp, or is he also going for the Princess Rescue against that blue dragon? Yeah, that Stone Man putting the hurt on EMP. Blue Dragon defeat for Xarnax, and yeah, he's doing the exact same thing and going after the princess. But yeah, we're at the West Coast. EMP finds a cave, could be one of the trading caves. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any of the trade-in items other than the stones. I think the only caves we have outstanding are the Shrine and the Jerk Cave. Yep. Xarnax turning in his Gwalin. Oh, very, very close to the search spot. Let's see if EMP grabs it. And 26 south, 81 west. Well, he finds the silver harp, and that harp trading cave is right there. That's going to be saving some time. But Xarnax is also rescuing the princess, is going to end up doing the same thing. They still might have to go to outside the other entrance to Swamp, because there might be things there. We haven't even sighted Sharlock yet at 50 minutes in. Xarnax taking the XP lead while EMP gets that harp and staff. Yeah, this Demon Knight's gonna do it and get Catapult Xarnax to level 13. Which has 8 power, 2 speed, 2 hit points, 1 magic point, no spells, while EMP finds Rimulder, with keys if he needs them, and at least 1 search spot and refuel, which is probably welcome. Gets rid of all that red on the screen. Looking for EMP, looking for a large shield while Xarnax takes on that Wraith Knight, and no large shield. And Xarnax diving Grave. Hey, there might be something that we did not find. Xarnax finding gold in that 4th chest. There's still that last one to be had. Hawksness, I know, is still outstanding. Yeah, EMP falling a little behind on XP, finds Breckenary. He's probably going to be looking, but he's not going to find that large shield he's looking for here. I'm not sure, Sayaka, if we did find Garenham or not. I don't remember. Xarnax reaches the bottom of Grave and finds the wings, so Grave Dive not required. We're running out of spaces to find. Back of Garenham is probably going to be a priority for both of these runners once they realize that. Yeah, Xarnax is going for the Death Warp because he only has 2 MP left, and that's not enough to cast outside. Silverbane pointing out, thank you. We're at one last cave for the rainbow drop, and Garanham is the location of said last cave. So we're outstanding the Hawksness search spot, the back of Garanham, and after that, anything we don't find is going to be in Sharlock. And EMP getting his level 13. We're going to be going to 5625 for level 14, and we are at the current stats not really anywhere near go mode, so it might take a bit, but that AP is still good, especially with that sword. No one's found the fighter's ring yet. I think Xarnax is still doing all of this without armor. And EMP gonna find a quick dead end in that swamp and decides just to return home, refuel, and head back out again. With that blue dragon on swamp, both of them finding Hawksness are probably going to be giving a very, very discerning eye to whatever's on that spike. EMP gonna first restock on whatever keys he needs, and then is gonna probably end up going through the swamp to explore the other side, because he hasn't found anything else yet. Xarnax finding the cave, and that's Tablet, which had the cursed belt. We've already been there. And Xarnax pulling to about 1,000 XP lead over EMP, reversal from earlier in the seed. But I'm not sure that Xarnax has even found Cantlin yet, so doesn't know the coordinates and doesn't know that they're right by the Harp Trading Cave. Okay, we've gotten out the other side of Swamp near the top of the map. We've got healing now to try to get through some of this swamp, see if we can find our missing towns and or cave. And Xarnax finding that one path to a dead end that EMP found just earlier. But that Wraith Knight's gonna send him home. And there's nothing apparently on the swamp continent, so our missing towns are somewhere. We've just got to find them. Yeah, Velu, I think you're right. I think Xarnax got tagged by that Wraith Knight just before he hits that dead end. So he's going to go back, and that's going to cost him a little time. Here's Cantlin. Oh, EMP might be actually trying to search out that large shield. No shield. Large shield in the bottom and the silver if you want it, but yeah, at an hour in, gold grind is the last thing you're thinking about. $1,100 XP gap in Xarnax's favor. If he takes down this green dragon, that's going to bring him up to level 14. Level 14 brings us 6 power, 18 speed, 12 hit points, 34 magic points. That just lit a fire under people. Xarnax picking up the chainmail. EMP using the fairy waters as repel, probably feeling that he's in a little bit of a time crunch. He's not entirely wrong. But these two towns are extremely elusive. Xarnax doing a little extra walk and grind as he goes. Xarnax, I don't think, has found Cantlin yet, so there's still that little bit behind, and that's what's going to make up for that XP gap in Xarnax's favor that he has. Nothing on the east coast that we've seen. EMP is going to start heading west, try to cover as much ground as possible to find these missing towns. Nope, there's a dead end at that north. Not sure if there's anything over the bridge. Nope, that's another dead end. We find a town, and it's Hawksness. He's got the AP to EMP has the AP to do this. And the golem. No flute. It's possible, but it's not going to be easy. Right now, on this tile is either going to be the armor, the token, or the flute. At least out of the three of those, the token is guaranteed to be on the overworld. It can't be in Sherlock. Xarnax finds Cantlin. And it's the armor, which means the token has to be in the back of Garanham, which is going to make turning in everything for the rainbow drop a lot easier. We just have to find the place first. Yeah, the acquisition of that Erdrick's armor is going to be defense breaking these Wraith Knights, which is really going to do a number on that XP gap. And on the off chance he finds that EMP finds that flute in Garanham, that makes the golem grind not actually a bad thing. But we're still a little low on MP for being 13th level. Yeah, EMP is finding a whole lot of nothing. He knows what we're looking for. We're looking for Garanham with the jerk in the cave in the back, and that'll get us to grinding go mode. And is this it? Is this it? And nope, we're back at Cantlin. Well, at least there's get your MP back. Xarnax also has Gwaylin's Love, so they'll be finding the harp in short order, but it's going to be a bit of a hike, because we're still got to get to 81 West. EMP closing in on level 14 with those rather nice stat boosts. Xarnax maintaining that XP lead, and will find that harp to catch up just a little bit, but he's still down the armor. And we have a Sharlock sighting for the first time this seed. Perhaps Garanham is on the other side of this, but we're going to find out what that red dragon has to say about it. .42 attack from that red dragon. But Xarnax finds that harp and the staff. And while EMP uses that dragon to get his level 14 of 6 power, 18 speed, 12 HP, and 34 MP. There it is. We found it. Bottom of the map. Bottom southwest. Yep, not even bothering with the shop. Recharge, use the key, get whatever you need out of this, grind, and get your drop, grind and go. So while Xarnax does have about 1,200 more XP, EMP has the exploration advantage, and there's a torch, the Erdrick's token that we've been looking for. And is this the flute? Oh, the fighter's ring, even better. And that's all the overworld search. That's all the overworld spots. If they're going to look, if they really need the fairy flute, they're going to have to dive Charlock for it, but I doubt it. But yeah, EMP is about to find that jerk, get his rainbow drop, and then how he grinds to get to go level is up to him. Yeah, I think Sayaka might be right, is, instead of the Hawksness Golem with no flute, EMP might be going after those blue dragons in Swamp, which is not the most ideal grind you're going to want. And Xarnax in the same situation right now that EMP was, where he's trying to find both Garanham and Hawksness. Both runners going to get to 7,500 for level 15. That might just be go mode, depending on the gains they get this time. Yeah, Xarnax is still exploring, while EMP is going to be trying to make up for any lost time by this Blue Dragon grind. Let's see what happens. And Xarnax finds his Garanham. So he's got the homework done. He's going to head back and get his rainbow drop. Has to find Hawksness then to get that armor, and he's also going to be in grind and go mode. Right now, EMP takes that lead with 1 power, 6 speed, 10 hit points, 21 magic points, and repel. They've got the death necklace, but the HP isn't high enough to do that. So it looks like EMP is actually going to take a shot and go to 16. Also, well, did get hurt more, but it's kind of pointless at this point in the game. Ooh. And just like a race earlier today, Swamp was also in the basement, which makes that grind very, very viable as EMP takes a steady lead, and Xarnax is going to dive Sharlock for the armor. That could... Oh, that's not going to work. Arturius, armors in Hawksness, actually, under a golem. We've seen 2 cursed belts, but let me see. The coordinates were the harp, Hawksness was the armor, and Cole was the death necklace. As Xarnax gets his level 15. EMP taking the death warp back to the throne room, might probably be going right back down to get that, because he's got to get to 9750 to get level 16 and pray that the strength gain is enough to actually initiate go mode, because he also does know where Sharlock and everything is. Xarnax had the XP lead for a while EMP found everything first. And Xarnax doesn't realize that the armor is in Hawksness. This is gonna cost him. This might actually cost him the match. I don't want to call anything so early, but yeah, that's just a really, really unfortunate call on his part. I just want to make sure I'm saying it in a way that I'm not insulting people. I don't want to insult people. It was just he made a decision, and I could see where they're coming from. It's just I know what the truth is. And on top of that, when Xarnax doesn't find the armor and the treasury, he might actually also go to the what they call the judges table. He might actually have a better time doing some of the golem grinds, because he's likely to find the flute in here. He's going to actually full clear everything on this map. But that red dragon's going to send Xarnax home. Let's see what he decides to do. Does he go back to Sharlock, or does he try to seek out Hawksness first on the off chance? Yeah, those blues dodging isn't helping, but... Yeah, EMP continuing on that blue dragon grind. Then also now taking a substantial 1500 XP lead over Xarnax. And 180 points, 180 XP for a blue dragon. This last one is going to push EMP to level 16, and then he's got to decide whether this is go or not. Likely it's going to be go. $0,005 and hurt more. What the heck? Level 17 it is. But that is 16 heal mores. You know, that's, I don't know, that might be a tough decision. But, you know, that there's not enough HP to justify the death necklace. Yeah, EMP is at 16, not 17. And we're looking for 12,000 XP for level 17. Yeah, Xarnax is probably still looking for Hawksness, which gives EMP a near 2,000 XP lead as he continues that grind towards 17. Which a lot of chat seems to be pointing out that that's a little out of character for EMP. Nits guy for the group status on the Discord for the tournament. Aaron's been doing the daily analysis. It's very comprehensive. That could explain everything. And EMP going back for the Death Warp to get his MP back and gonna come back down, go after those blue dragons and go for that grind. While Xarnax is still seeking out Hawksness. And I think EMP is about 2 blue dragons away from level 17. Yeah, I'm not trying to push things off on Aaron, Nitz guy. It's just that they're really good at this. I'm not. Oh, Xarnax is going for the second dive for Sharlock and realizing that he's not going to find that armor. While EMP goes after this blue dragon to pull him to level 17, I think EMP should be going regardless of what he gets this level. Even if he has to fairy water it up to the Dragon Lord. Yeah, 128 attack power. You know, does EMP risk the death necklace on this dive? That's a question. Yeah, EMP is going for the selling everything not nailed down and getting those fairy waters. That's also going to bring him up to 16 heal mores. Yeah, Velu, I think you saw the XP total and thought that was his gold. Okay, for chat, since I'm not good at the, I didn't memorize the charts. 82 defense points. Dragon Lord 2. What's Dragon Lord 2's max damage on someone with 82 defense? Ooh, thanks, Sith. That's what I was afraid of. But we're going to have EMP going into Sharlock. Okay, and Axe Knights have Stop Spell, and Xarnax does not have the armor. So that's going to cost him more. He's probably going to do another dive, but until he realizes that, no, there's no armor down here. Okay, that Nightbot post about that is the Restream crew. That was not this one. That was 12 o'clock's. Today, it's me on the commentator's booth with Veluvi handling the restreaming and tracking duties. But also, if you want to go back and watch that Brian Williams versus DK9146 race from noon today, please do so. It's a great race. Very exciting. Okay, Shinigami SPQR. Armor is in Hawksness. Xarnax did not orphan Deep Grave. EMP heading to Zone 3. Xarnax about to hit the same spot. EMP is a little bit of ahead because between everything, he's really got a very good chance of winning this. Silverbane, EMP did find Garanham first and got the drop. Xarnax went into Charlock first. And a Green Dragon on the Charlock Spike. One heal, and he can definitely afford it, while EMP becomes the Fool and starts taking on the Dragon Lord. And Xarnax is about to get the bad news. Okay, Dragon Lord's smacking people in some stop spells, bringing up to 99 for the DL2 fight. Let's see who gets in first. Dragon Lord gets the ambush with a Fire Breath at 44. And that's 12. I'll be doing the count. Xarnax finds the Fairy Flute, not the armor. Nine for that Fairy Water, bringing him up to 21. Ouch! That's not what you want to see in this. $14, bringing up to 35. That's... This might be a double. Oh, nope, not a double. $61. And Xarnax just realizing, I think, if he found that third curse belt, he's going to realize where the armor is. Last Fairy Water. That's going to bring it up to 75. and 88. At least I hope I have the count right. 99. 111. Xarnax probably thinks that Hawkness is on the other side of Swamp. He's in for some more bad news. While EMP goes after 119 on Dragonlord 2 with, wow, quite a few heal mores left. 130. 141. 152, and that'll be enough. EMP, any amount of money, wins the match. As soon as he gets back and goes through the whole ending spiel. GG's to him. GG to EMP. That was... Let me find out what the time is. Xarnax just seen that EMP hit the end button. $135.48 for EMP, any amount of money. And Xarnax, there's that sort of pause. I'm not sure if they're still looking or if they know that they haven't won. I'm not sure what they're doing. But they might still be looking for this. $29 blue dragons for EMP's part. And Aaron's analysis, this result, EMP winning over Xarnax, results cements DK9146, who is currently, I believe, at a 4-0, with the #1 seed in the Garanham group, with Brian Williams 42 as the #2 seed after their race earlier today. Congratulations to both. Hello, EMP. Congratulations. GG's.
Thanks for the GG's. That was some trader seed, especially around the Harp Trade Cave.
You did find that first, and for that, you finding the harp, Xarnax did get a little bit of an XP lead over that because both of you found that same grind spot in the desert with the specters and the wraiths. So it was pretty much neck and neck most of the time. You found that harp first, and you found Hawksness. Xarnax dove Sharlock trying to find the armor.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't quite see Hawksnet, everything that I could see from the river, and so I moved in just a bit to make sure I didn't miss anything because I didn't want to go back there.
It was a very, very fortunate move. You'll have to forgive me. I'm still watching, and I'm not the best at interviews. Do you have any thoughts on this seed?
That could have been a much nastier Sharlock than it actually was.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Going at 17, that did help because Xarnax was in Sharlock trying to find the armor by the time you had gotten there, and you both hit the basement roughly around the same time, but with completely different purposes. But yeah, finding the rescuing Gwaylin was apparently the right call. Finding that harp right, like within visual distance of the harp trading cave, and then narrowing it down that Garanham was going to have the rainbow drop trade in. That just made things a lot easier later on. Ask EMP if he knew he was a 91% favorite on level 16 instead of going on 17. But yeah, Sayaka's asking why you took level 17. I personally think that was the better move because you were just at that border with the attack points.
Yeah, I hate going on anything below 130. 128 if I have enough MP and heals, but yeah, I didn't think I was that big a favorite.
It was mostly because Xarnax hadn't found the armor. Once that did, and then you went right for the blue dragon grind out of the basement of Tantagel in Swamp. That really closed and gave you almost by the end a 2000 XP lead.
Yeah, the other option was trying to find a Red Dragon zone, and I didn't think I could find a Red Dragon desert, and I didn't think I could find one.
There might be some around, but there is that risk of random encounters. I was wondering if you had found the fairy flute in the back of Garanham along with the token, would you have tried to go to Hawksness to grind those golems?
Probably not. I would, if I were going to go for that grind, it would have just been straight up without attacks without the fairy flute either way.
Yeah, and that's why you guys are in the tournament and I'm here in the commentary booth. And Xarnax is going up against that golem, also at level 17. He's going to find that armor. Yep, and there's the armor. He's probably just going to go straight for a Sharlock dive. And so now, Xarnax will be taking his Sharlock dive. He's pretty much got the same stats as you did at the end, and have to see if he's actually going to try selling everything he's got to get those fairy waters first, if that's what he decides to do. But that does bring you, EMP, up to a 2-2 record in the Garanham group. What do you think about, this victory does put DK9146 into the top seed and Brian Williams at second. What do you think of your chances for getting that third seed in your group?
I always like my chances. I mean, I can beat anyone on any day, but I can also lose to anyone on any day.
That's true. Sayaka's asking, you made your decision to stay and grind in that Spectre Wraith zone early on after getting the sword, which, probably was a fantastically smart move on both of your parts when you got the sword, instead of exploring.
Yeah, normally heal or heal more is a definite go explore signal, but I didn't think I had the hit points to really sustain and explore to see as much as I could.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that, and I do think it was the right. You both made that same decision early on, and I think it was the right one for that stage of the game. But yeah, Xarnax had a lead on XP on you, but you did have the exploration lead, and then when he decided to dive, he got killed by a red dragon on his first Charlock dive to try to find the armor, and that's kind of what cost him the match this time.
Yeah, I don't like diving with search spots unseen.
I agree with you on that. Sorry, there is a bit of silence. We are waiting for Xarnax to get to his DL2 fight. And I'm by myself, and I'm not very good at this. But both of you also did make the decision to rescue Gwaylin with those coordinates, which probably did save a lot of time. I'm not sure about the whole reverse count thing. That's relatively new to what I've been hearing, so I'll take their word for it.
Yeah, you probably could do a one coordinate count to get your numbers off the west coast and then just search up and down once you're in the right column.
Okay, Xarnax getting to his basement. And 4 bonks over the entire seed. Very good.
Ho ho ho, green dragon.
And another werewolf. Ugh. And Xarnax about to be called a fool, and we're gonna see what happens. Although two-shotting Dragonlord 1's always a plus. But, okay. So we're at 7, 8. Oh, I don't think he got fairy waters. He's up to 27. 36. 45. 53. 66. 80. 96. 103. 114. Yeah, 114 with that many heal mores is not going to be an issue. And that is 122. 130. 139. 147. I think this next attack might do it. Oh no, 154. Huh. $163 will do it, and Xarnax will defeat his Dragon Lord. Get the GGs out in chat for everyone. $150 or close to 151 for Xarnax, and that's going to complete the seed. GG's. Xarnax, what are your initial thoughts? Once you unmute your mic.
Thank you. My initial thought was if basement of if I had found Hawksness my first time in that area, I think it would have been a really, really close finish.
Yeah, that was one of the major deciding factors of that. GG, by the way. But yeah, you know, those first two Sharlock dives were pretty costly, all told. I mean, you know, you guys were neck and neck for most of it, and around that time, you actually had about 1,200 of an XP lead on EMP.
Okay.
And then when EMP found the armor, he went right back to the basement and started grinding blue dragons.
Okay. Yeah, I felt like diving Sharlock wasn't the worst option because I was still getting experience most of the time I was in there.
Yeah, that is true.
And there was like, especially when I first found Sharlock, had the rainbow drop, there was a large chunk of the map that I hadn't even looked at yet, and it made sense to me to see if I could get to the bottom and raid the treasury before wandering around looking for Hawksness. I mean, in hindsight, obviously, that was the wrong choice. But the fairy fruit was still out there, so I knew it was 50-50 at worst. I couldn't remember if I had seen 2 or 3 cursed belts.
Yeah, I got confused on that myself, and you know, it turned out to not be the correct choice. That doesn't mean it was an unwise choice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't feel bad about that choice at all.
Yeah, because EMP did find Hawksness before you went for that first dive, so all of us were noticing. And Dragon DL2 had 157 HP. Okay.
Man, I don't know. I had a 128 attack power, so my range was 7 to 14. I think I rolled double digits once in that fight. It was ridiculous.
Although, as a comparison, EMP did go to Cantlin and stocked up on fairy waters before he went.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely had that consideration. Did you finish at 16 or 17?
I finished at 17.
Okay.
With chat also debating whether 16 or 17 was the correct choice for exactly those reasons.
Now I'm trying to remember if I went to 17 or 18.
You went to 17.
Okay, so 17 seemed pretty darn free, even without fairy waters.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it played out for you. And okay, exactly the same amount of heal mores, exactly the same amount of hurt mores, both of you.
Also
That's
had the one hurt more obligatory. I just got hurt more miss menu.
Oh yeah, I did this. I think I did that, and it worked out okay.
Yeah, but for a majority of that race, it was really close. Both of you played that really, really well, especially with the information that you did have.
Nah, that'll be fun to watch back. The another thought I had, like maybe 45 minutes in when I found, I think it was around 35 to 45 minutes in when I first found Tablet Cave, I was very relieved that the armor wasn't in there. Because that could easily have been found very early.
Yeah, I think EMP in that case also found that first. But, you know, like I said, a lot of it was neck and neck. You guys were pretty much grinding early on in that same desert with the Spectres and Wraiths.
Nice. Yeah, that... Man, when it's hard to find a good grind and you find one that's like, it's okay, and it's a really hard decision whether you want to just settle into that or go exploring hoping to find a better one, because you might not.
Yeah, no one blamed either of you for any decisions that y'all made in this one.
Well, that they should have. I definitely made plenty of mistakes. Most of them were pretty minor, though. I think.
Like I said, I think you both played well. I really do.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I played it. No major blunders, at least.
That's good. Well, yeah, always happy to be able to keep it interesting for at least most of the race. Map Boss has definitely been mean to me during the group stage.
All right, and we're looking now. Yeah, we might be rating Speed Gaming for a Link to the Past race until Dragon Warrior Randomizer comes up at 9 p.m. for the next and last restreamed on the main channel race for the night, which is going to be... Sorry, I have to look this up these days. That is actually going to be Arturius versus Smashy, which is also a vital, important match to deal with. But I'll tell you what, I think I'm done with commentating for the day. So I think we can do the raid now, maybe close it out, and wish everyone a good night. Thanks to Velu V for the restream and the tracking. This is Wanderdown. And want to thank Xarnax and EMP Any Amount of Money for fantastic races to watch. Please follow our runners and our restream and the rest of the restream team if you can. You too, sirs.
Thank you, GG.